इनिशियल लिक्विडिटी ट्रेड था, लिक्विडिटी रन फ्रॉम डिस्काउंट टू प्रीमियम, बट ये लाइव स्ट्रीम को चेक करने के चक्कर में आई कुड नॉट एग्जिट इट. So it is working, I think, fine now. Okay, तो Nasdaq में I am waiting for 9:30 opening, and then we can see what we can do inside Nasdaq today. ठीक है, but उसके पहले let's do some markings on the chart, जिसमें I would like to mark the pre-opening session, which is the New York session, but in the pre-market hours, which is from 7 to 9:30. तो 7 in between 7 to 9:30 हम उसमें देखेंगे कि कहाँ पे लिक्विडिटी है प्री मार्केट आवर्स की, बाय साइड और सेल साइड दोनों. And after that we will decide what we have to do and where to look for in terms of bias. Okay, कि किस side market can move and whether they are going to manipulate on the upside or on the downside. Look at that reaction from the high of that first presented fair value gap from the previous day. Okay, so this is the time between 7 and 9:30. So this is the buy side resting over here. There are buy stops here and here because यहाँ पे रिटेलर लोग बेचे हैं. ओके और जो भी बेचा है उनके स्टॉप लॉसेस होंगे इन द फॉर्म ऑफ बाय ऑर्डर. So this is the high probable area where the market will go up and disrupt these highs. Okay, and eventually the pre-market high, which is at 7. So let's see now. Okay, S&P made a higher low here. And also we have a high impact news at 10 or medium impact. Let me check. Okay, so we have existing home sales at 10, which is a medium impact news. So I don't care what's the forecast and what's the actual, and I don't care about the numbers. For me, the matter of fact is that at 10 they will going to manipulate it. Okay, they are going to do some kind of manipulation. That is my all objective of tracking this high or medium impact news. Look at that, it is moving higher, taking support from the upper quadrant of yesterday's down wick. Okay, I have graded the wick of yesterday's daily candle, and this is the upper quadrant of that, and look at that how bodies are respecting this. On YouTube and all other social media platforms, people, they try to show you all the luxuries and stuff. Okay, but in reality all those things does not make you a profitable trader. If you are a profitable trader, then you can achieve all those things, but it's not so easy and obvious. Okay, this industry in reality is pretty fucking hard. no doubt about it. It is a very aggressive and very competitive industry. Okay, trading is not at all easy, and it's just my concern with the new people, those who are coming into this, how they will gonna get affected because of all this. Look at that, price is moving higher, trying to take out these buy stops which are resting above these highs and this high. And this should act as the breakaway gap. Price should not come down to touch it, okay, in this move up. And this gap, which is a CB, which is a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, but now I am looking for it to act as the inversion. Okay, this should, I don't like that close on that, should close somewhere here. Now I don't want bodies of candle to close below this, which is the midpoint of this gap. Look at that, how bodies of candle after breaking this sell side imbalance buy side inefficiency is now acting as the inversion. look at that, it is moving higher. जब रिटेल यहाँ पे चेस कर रहा था नीचे की तरफ on the downside on this move, I was already long inside the 850 to 910 macro. I was expecting it to move higher, but they once again came down, trapped all the buyers, and now they are moving pretty smoothly on the upside. Look at that. So can you look at this? This is my model. Okay, this is my process where I have written down all the important protocols and procedures which I have to follow. Okay, it is simple, but it has like 7-8 steps to it, like protocols for algorithmic thinking and having no emotions attached to your trades. This is what it looks like. It says mental capital जो है आपका वो बहुत ज़्यादा important है rather than your monetary capital, because without the mental capital you can't sustain in this industry. Look at that. Now how price came inside this fair value gap, which is a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, and now it is marching higher ahead of 930. So now we have a pretty smooth sell side down here in the pre-market hours, and this is the buy side. So let's see which side get attacked first. Okay, मतलब किस side liquidity वो लोग जाके trap करते हैं. Basically stop run. Okay, that's what I'm looking at 930. But my core model, okay, which I will reveal in this live stream, which contains just two rules. मतलब जो core model है मेरा on which I trade, it has only two major core rules, which is buying below or near the opening price and selling above or near the opening price. That's the rule number one. And rule number two, I'm looking for liquidity purge and reward on a 15-minute, hourly, daily, weekly, and monthly. I'm looking for liquidity to get purge and reward. Like market नीचे गया, उसने liquidity ली, and then it rewards from there. Okay, basically stop run, and then this is very important, guys. This is fucking important. And then very first fair value gap before the stop run should completely fail and act as the inversion fair value gap, targeting the opposing pool of liquidity. Okay, so You can see this is the inversion gap. It completely failed. This was the sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. इसका function है to send the price lower, but what happened here? It got completely disregarded, and then it took the support. It acted as the inversion. So उसने अपना role revert कर लिया. Look at that. We are before 9:30 only. We have taken this buy side buy stops and these buy stops. This happened live in front of you guys. Look at that. That too before the 9:30 opening. Okay, which is a good thing, I think, guess. But now I would like to wait and see like how 9:30 now manipulates and reacts. That's what I am going to look for. Okay, it's 9:29 and we are right there. Okay, look at that. At 9:30 they have bumped that higher on the high of that wick which I have graded. This is the high of that quadrant. Sorry, this is the upper quadrant, that is the high. It has bumped right there, and now I think they are going to manipulate one more on the downside, but let's see. Look at that. Now they are going to manipulate the downside, it looks like, and after that they will come up once again to manipulate the sellers. That's what I'm thinking. That is the 9:30 opening price. I'm just marking that out and extending it. This is the 9:30 opening price. Okay. Look at that. Now I'm looking for these relative equal highs inside there, if they want to do that and manipulate once more on the upside. It looks like the way it is moving, it's going to manipulate these sell stops. But let's see, we have to wait it out now. I am not in a rush. My protocol says no FOMO. Okay, if you miss the trade, no worries. Market will do the same things next week, next session, next day. So do nothing. Wait for another low risk, high probability in the next session or day. So I'm waiting for that high probability condition to execute. So it doesn't mean if I can know where the market is moving, I will trade it. That is not the only reason for trading. Okay, there has to be a low risk, high probability setup there. I'm just looking at the little higher time frame to understand the narrative, but I don't like the way the bodies of candle is staying below the midpoint of this first presented fair value gap. Okay, that is something I'm not liking that much. Look at that, this is not high probability move. They are just chopping it around right here. So now currently this is the sell side liquidity at 24,844.5, which is this low 44.7, and these. So मेरे हिसाब से they want to manipulate on the downside, तो उनको वो चीज़ 950 to 1010 के पहले करनी चाहिए, but that is not what we are happening to see now. Now they are trying to punch it higher. Look at that, how they have broken the midpoint of that first presented fair value gap from the previous days, and now we are between the wicks, between the quadrants of this. So let's see, now we are going to take the pre-market buy side, which is right here. Look at that, done. Buy side from previous day has been taken out. Let's check the 5-minute time frame for once. Look at that, it came down inside this 5-minute inversion right there. Once I would like to check the 15-minute time frame now. Oh, shit. My desk got broken. So now we have taken out the pre-market buy side. $249.31 is the midnight opening price. S&P and Dow are pretty much bullish. And dollar index is moving lower as of now. Let's check. I've put some unbelievable pressure. Now it would be nice to see how it reacts in today's first presentation of fair value gap. Now I'm waiting for 950 to 1010 macro to play out in whichever way they want it to. तो अभी हम लोग 930 ओपनिंग प्राइस के ऊपर ट्रेड कर रहे हैं. Okay, we are not trading below the 930 opening, but still on Nasdaq we are trading below the midnight opening. Okay, which is the midnight at 12. That candle opening price is right here, which is 24,931.6. So it would be interesting to see Now it still haven't came inside this gap, which is the first presentation of gap for today's trading inside the 932.10. Let's see, guys. Let's see. So connection is fine now. So we have a medium impact news at 10. So we have to keep that in mind. Look at that, how bodies of the candle is closing above the midpoint of this first presentation. Now it is exploring higher prices and taking out all the people, those who have their shorts running. So this is what I told you right here when the price was trading inside this. So this was the logic, because at between 9:30 to 10 price will try to create a Judas, which means they will try to create some kind of manipulation. Okay, but retail minded traders are going to chase that. They are going to definitely chase that. And now we are really near the high from the London, which is 24,971.9. Let's see how it is going to react inside that. This is the midpoint of the sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. Now in S&P ये जो gap है, if they want to continue higher, they should not completely fill this. But if they completely break this gap, okay, on the downside, then this would act as the inversion to send the price lower into the sell side. Same with these. But currently it is respecting the but this is a high probability fair value gap. It's look like they will continue to send it higher. that they are respecting this fair value gap. If I will grade this fair value gap, तो you will find that जो इसका upper quadrant है वहाँ से touched it and moved higher. So that is what price is telling the smart money individuals. Now this is pretty done, so I would like to remove it because it is quite distracting. थोड़ा तो distract कर रहा था यार वो gap, मतलब वो color. Now it looks little clear and now this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. This PC should act as the measure. So now 9:50 to 10:10 we have these 20-minute interval where I would like to see how it will play out inside these 9:50 to 10:10. Okay, it is continuing to march higher. Just bumping it higher and higher. Now this is the midpoint of the buy side imbalance and sell side inefficiency. Now I would like to see how bodies of the candle react from the midpoint of that gap. Look at that. I would like to see this gap should completely covered on the downside, because the bodies of the candle is staying below the midpoint of this gap. Because अब market ने इतना अच्छा rally दे दिया है, तो now retailers are trying to chase longs and they are anticipating and expecting more higher prices. Okay, because they have something, some kind of news and whatnot, so they think that it's going to continue higher. But the point is कि अगर ये gap sustain करता है, and the main thing is what I'm looking for is the how bodies are going to react from the midpoint of this buy side imbalance and sell side inefficiency. Okay, now US 30 is and Look at that, it is moving lower. But I don't like this kind of move. It should just completely drop down below this, then came higher, touch it, and then disrupt the people, those who have interest in longs. Okay, or the people those who have trailed their stop losses around this area. But the most important right now is the dequalification of this gap from buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency to sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. That is something I am looking at right now, but that is not happening. Okay, bodies of the candle are respecting the midpoint of that gap, and now they have completely closed it. Look at that. Here are the stop loss orders at 25.32. Okay, so pre-market idea, which was looking for sellers to get butchered, is in play right now. Let's see, guys. US 30 is moving down in a good way, but I don't think that S&P and Nasdaq has the intention to do it. Let's see. Now it should at least break this, then I will start to look for lower prices. It should break this low, then that will be a shift in market structure. If it does that, then it's good. Otherwise, these three candles are going to support it higher, but I don't think it's going to do that now. Let's see if it has the potential to do it, but it. Okay, so I'm trying to take a small trade. I'm trying to short Nasdaq because it has rallied higher. I got the bad fill there. My SL is right above here. Okay, so I'm risking around 25 points. I'm looking for it to draw down into the first presentation fair value gap, but let's see. and this will be good if they did not completely fill this. Okay, the gap on S&P is paying out. Look at that midpoint of that buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. At 10 we have a medium impact news, but it should manipulate people on the downside. Only 10 seconds to go. Let's see. Okay, so stop loss got hit. But still it looks like they are going to dump it lower. Look at that, the way they are manipulating it. Again I got the same area. But yes, look at that. They are trying to manipulate on the downside, and now it's look good. So I'm trying to take small risk right there. I have added few quantities. Look at that. Like US 30 started to its downwards journey from 952. Okay, it is still continuing lower, but Nasdaq is just hovering around my entry. That is not good. Should break it. The point is, it is respecting this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. It is something I did not want to see. Excuse me. I don't think now they are going to give me what I'm looking for today, but that would be fine. Look at this gap I told you in S&P. It completely broke it and now it is respecting it down there, but look at that. Now bodies of the candle are respecting this midpoint of that gap. SL was right there, it just did not went there. But now it should aggressively move lower on the downside if they want to. That is what I am expecting. Bump it lower, not wick it. It needs to send it lower. Outside this blue shaded area. Needs to do it. Just hovering around. It's not good. Okay, let's see. Look at that. It is starting to move lower. Now it should aggressively send it below before, outside this blue shaded area. Now I would like to take some partials as it is moving in my favor, because it is not moving in a smooth way, so I would like to reduce the risk. I have done that. Now also I'm trying to reduce my stop loss. I don't want price to go right there. It should just stay below this gap. This should act as the inversion and it should send it lower. That is what my expectations are. It should, as I told you, it should just give up all this support and it should start to trade below this blue shaded area. Yes, just like that. I'm expecting it to move somewhere around here. Should now, yes, just like that, but it should trade below here. It touched the low of it, but now the important thing is I am completely removing the risk from the trade, because I know if it wants to move lower it should stay below this, because bodies of the candle is staying above inside the gap. Let's see. It is moving down in a structural way. So all these three candles on the upside it should act as the bearish order block, and it should not go above this point. That is what my expectations are for now. That so yeah, that is the midpoint of this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, which I would like to see. It should act as the inversion, and it should not take support from this. I was looking for price to trade outside this blue shaded area. Matlab basically I was looking for like big moves trading outside this, but that is not happening, and we have just one more minute left for 9:50 and 10:10 macro to manipulate and send the price lower. Look at that, how bodies of the candle are respecting the low of this inversion fair value gap. Okay, so finally now we are trading outside the blue shaded area, so I'm looking to take one more partial right there. Okay, so I have taken one more partial. It is all about managing and controlling the risk. Okay, so I have taken one partial. I got the fill at 960.9. It's fine. Now I am having just one quantity left. Now it is pretty important for me for this price movement lower. It should not respect this down close candle. It should just completely butcher it. Let's see now. There is no risk. I have completely removed the risk. Now I would like to increase my profit objective. Yes. I have increased my positive stop out. Okay. So now this is the best position to be in as a trader. Now I would like to hold and see if this move has the potential to move below the 930 opening, but I don't think so, because as you can see this down close candle is trying to support it. Let's see. Now I'd like to see how this sell side imbalance buy side inefficiency play out. Wicks are allowed to do the damage, but not like that. This bodies of the candle should stay below the, that is not happening. They are going to pull it higher. It looks like it, because as I told you, this if this down close candle did not get broken out on the downside, it is going to send it higher. That's why I have completely removed the risk from the trade. If it wants to stop me out, that is the level they can take me out. Yes, now they are going for higher prices. Looks like it. So I'm going to close this. I have closed this short trade, and now as you can see they are just holding price at this down close candle. Look at that, how it supported the prices higher. Now they are going to take all the sellers out. Those who have sold it like me, those who have anticipated this move on the downside, they might try to take them out, because the way this buy side imbalance and sell side efficiency has been formed, not good, because the way the prices was moving lower was not in a very high probable way. But that's it, guys. I'm done for the day. I'm not going to trade more, but this is going to move higher and take out previous buy sides, because it has not any potential to move below this. Okay, so it is going to go higher and take out these buy stops resting above here and eventually taking it near the all-time highs. But let's see. Okay, so I'm hoping you found some value today. But that is it, guys. I'm done for the day.